And my point here is that if we live in this enclave, segmented society, who in the society can move between enclaves most efficiently and effectively but the old? Not tied to a job, not defined by their home, not diminished by their responsibilities to family. These are the only people in society who are, shall we call them, the social free radicals, who can go anywhere, do anything, say whatever they like. The true radicals in society could be the very old. Why don't we do that? You know, a healthy ecosystem needs diversity to thrive. The thing that's killing American agriculture is monoculture, field after field of corn, corn, corn. The thing that's killing American cities is its monoculture, block after block of the same kind of person. We need a healthy diversity of humans, of plants. Who's going to spread the seeds? Who's going to plant the weeds? Who's going to upset the enclave orderliness of society except people who don't have a stake in it anymore? That's right, you old folks. I'm making a case for you to be the revolutionaries society requires. I'm making a case for you to go out and break down the walls that divide us, because you don't need to be inside any of those walls, not a one of them. Anyone here ever heard of the Young at Heart Chorus? A couple of nods. Read my blog. I just posted a little video. The Young at Heart Chorus is a number of people between 70 and 95 in Amherst, Massachusetts, who sing rock and roll music. And they mean it. They have a great video posted on YouTube. Yes, they are on YouTube. There's a wonderful trailer for a movie that they have produced about themselves. But if you really want to know what they're about, you got to see their music video. They do a version of I Want to Be Sedated by the Ramones. And when they sing it, they mean it. And I urge this upon you because this is an example of old people defying the rules of being old, which is to say, be sedate, be dignified, be old. They are saying, I'm old and I care about life, and I'm going to violate the rules of elderness because you can't make me stay in my wheelchair. They refuse to conform to young people's ideas of oldness. And you don't have to either. I don't expect any of you north of 70 or 80 to behave like my parents. My parents are gone now. I don't need new ones. In fact, I like them better and better the further in the past they go. I expect my children will think the same way about me. So I'm asking you, elders, defy the rules. Become the person you always expected you could be, whether or not people want you to be. And the chief way to do this is to follow the example of our Befrienders ministry. Make new friends. You know, when you're a young adult, you make friends with your friends at the bar. When you're a young family person, you make friends in the playgroup or the nursery school. When you're at work, you make friends with your workmates. Only when you're old are you literally at liberty to make friends with just about anyone. And I submit to you that this is the way to break down the walls of our enclaves. Not because you old folks need to be young at heart, because we youngsters need to understand the larger vista of life that we can't see because of the tunnel vision of school, work, parenthood. We need you to defy the rules, to remind us not to get trapped in them. We are the ones needing liberation, elders. You old folks have to show us youngsters what it means to be alive, because you're the only ones with a big enough vision to get us there. So what I'm telling you, folks, is if you're old now and you feel like you should be at home and going off, I'm going to be critical. I'm very sorry, but I'll take it later. It's my responsibility. If you think being old is about playing golf or going on trips, you're not doing your job. Your job is to make friends with people who are younger than you, people different from you, and force them to see the world in a bigger way than they can because they're too young to know better. You've been saying that for 30 years, haven't you? 20 years. They don't know any better. Well, show us. Become our friend. Not our parent, not our grandparent. Become our friend. Show us that despite the fact that you're 80 or 85 or 90, that you remember with vividness what it was like to be 10 and 30 and 50. When I was 25 years old, I was shipped off to be a student minister in Framingham, Massachusetts. It was right next door to an old folks' home. I've told you about the old folks' home, the Framingham Home for Aged Men and Women. They tell it like it is. And I was dispatched by the senior minister as the student minister to go meet two old women. They were old. One of them was named Emily. I know I've told you this story. I'll tell it to you again. Emily lived in a room with her own furniture, like some places do. And on the wall of her room was a musket. Why did she have a musket? Because her ancestor fought at the Battle of Lexington and conquered. And I had the nerve, the callow nerve one morning, sitting there in her room, to ask her, what's it feel like to be 89 years old? And she was my friend because she answered me not as an elder dressing down a youngster, but as an old woman talking to a young man. She said, well, you know, until I see myself in the mirror, I'm still 19. We youngsters need to know that every old person remembers what it's like to be 19. Remembers not just in an abstract far away, but their bodies remember. That there are moments when you wake up at 40 and you can still be 10. When you're 90, you can still be 20. We think somehow they've lost that. But no, they still have it. And what fools are we youngsters not to ask the elders to say, help us be young, rather than the other way around. We should not be helping them be young. They should be helping us be young because they knew how, and they still have it. Because making new friends is not about keeping the old young, as I said, but keeping every one of us healthy, breaking down the enclaves, the walls, the separations that we allow to creep up, the spiritual segments, the social segmentation, the emotional compartmentalization. You free radicals are the ones society needs to break down the false walls we youngsters have put up. You old people can be the leaven for human diversity. You're the ones that can show us the way if you are willing. You can be the planters of hope, real hope, not the false hope of material success or political power or personal glory. You can plant real hope. My old friends, and I have lots of older friends. The friends you have known for years are quite literally silver now, aren't they? The friends you make from this day forward, youngsters like me, there are your golden friends. Because you don't have golden years, you have golden friends. Because the ones you make now among the young, will be made more precious by your powers to befriend them, to shower them with the praise they still need, to bless them with the hope they still crave, and to be remembered by you and with you. Get out there, my old friends. Get out there on your feet, or on your canes, or in your walkers, in your wheelchairs. I don't care. We need you desperately to save us and the world we share. Amen and amen.